Love is perceived not by words said alone, but more so by sacrificial actions done.
From the first time I met him, I knew that he was my husband.
There is a psychological benefit to knowing that somebody is in your corner for the long haul.
He's everything that I prayed for and everything that I dreamed of in terms of a mate. He is very supportive.
I'm willing to go over and beyond.
He massages my head, and that's one of the things that I love.
And I make personal sacrifice to show that I'm here for you. That's what I like to do, to let her know that you come first.
When was the last time you really felt loved by someone? You felt understood, accepted, cherished? When we consider those questions, we oftentimes think of a girlfriend or a boyfriend, a husband or a wife. And I believe that is because God created marriage to be a reflection of His passionate love for mankind. And so in this Christmas edition of Family and Faith magazine, we're very happy to turn the attention on love. Big, bold, beautiful, messy love. I'm Shelly-Ann. Thanks for joining us.
My name is Christopher Broadbent, and I'm a pastor. I pastor Covenant City Church in Kingston, Jamaica.
Michelle Dawn Broadbow. I am a sales coordinator at the Marriott Hotel.
I am happily married to Michelle Dawn Broadbent. For the last 15 years, we got married in 2003, September the 6th. So it's been 15 years. I've come to realize that the simple things convey to me real love. So the simple things of care, when you feel that care and attention, you want a head rub, you want a back rub, and there's somebody there that is willing, even though they're tired, that's when you know that you're loved.
From the first time I met him, I knew that he was my husband. I actually called my girlfriend in Canada and told her that I met my husband. I just met, this guy by the name of Christopher, and he's the one. Because we always had this thing saying, when you meet the one, you say, I met the one. And when I met him, I just knew in my heart and my spirit that this was my husband. How I know I love Chris is because he is everything that I prayed for and everything that I dreamed of in terms of a mate. And he's an answer to my prayers. I had a list when I was single of all the qualities that I wanted in a mate, and he met every one of them. So I know it's not just my feelings or I love him, but I know it's a spiritual connection in terms of why he's my husband and why we were connected.
I'm willing to go over and beyond. You're exhausted. You've been doing everything running up and down, but to express that I'm here for you, and I make personal sacrifice to show that I'm here for you. That's what I like to do, to let her know that you come first.
I stick through the thick and thin. I am somebody that I'm a no-nonsense person, so normally if I don't really love you, I'll just run away. I can't be bothered. But I have stuck through, and I believe in him because he's a good person. I believe in the heart of Christopher Broadbow, and I love him because he is a loving person. He's a good person, and he's everything that you would want in a mate. But his heart, it's mainly his heart why I love him.
And when you make a vow, in order to keep that vow, it's going to require sacrifice. So we've been through that. You're tired, but you still have to be there for the person, to let them know that you are there and that you care and you love them. And as you know, love is perceived not by words said alone, but more so by sacrificial actions done. So on one occasion, I told Michelle that I had made a booking for a restaurant and we were going out. We've done restaurants before, so it wasn't a surprise that, okay, we're going to a restaurant. But what she didn't know was that I had cooked the meal. I'd done steamed fish and all kinds of stuff, and had a bottle of wine. And I had a collapsible table and chairs hidden in the trunk of the car. So we drove out to Port Royal. She thought we were going to Gloria's or one of those places, but I stopped on the street light and said, we're eating right here. Unfolded the tables and chairs and the tablecloth, and we had our dinner under the street light, just the two of us.
I'm a romantic person. I have my Christian selection, but I also have my romantic music. And I love to dance. So occasionally I would put on my love CDs, put on something very sexy when the children are gone to bed, and show him how much I love him, you know, in that kind of way.
My wife is a wedding planner, an event planner. So occasions where she has executed something that she has planned, like we recently went to, we were at Sandals in Ochi, and that was her doing. I can't give you all the details of that time, but it was a special time for us. I
usually try and make a conscious effort to make sure he's well, to make sure he's better in his spirit. I like to give jokes, so I usually find a way of making him laugh, and I always know how to make him laugh. No matter how down he is, Michelle knows the magic, the touch, to know what to say to make him laugh, and that has always been something within us, you know, that we support each other. I support him when he is up and down, whether physically, spiritually, you know, emotionally, to make sure that he's back to himself.
I'll never forget, it was a big time for us when we returned from Barbados to Jamaica, because we were leaving the saints from the church that we had been with for 6 years. So it was a little tough time. Michelle came back early with the kids while I wrapped up things in Barbados. But she was expecting that I was going to come back a little later in the year, and I would have missed our anniversary if I stayed later in the year. So I kept her on that line, thinking that I was coming back later in the year, but surprised her for our anniversary. Turned up at the door in Jamaica on our anniversary to say, I'm here for you, ready to start life anew in Jamaica. She couldn't speak for a while. She didn't believe it was really me at the door. It was a good time. It was a very good time for us. Yeah, she was surprised, to say the least. Because my family and her family, they were able to keep the secret. Everybody else knew that I was coming in, wrapping up there early, just to make it for our anniversary. She didn't know. And she was a little down that I wouldn't be there for the anniversary. So I came in the evening, and we had a good anniversary.
He is very supportive. I remember when I was at school, I went back and furthered my education at university, and I was juggling full-time school plus the children plus church. And Chris always helped me with my assignments. He read through all my written work before I handed it in. He helped to correct when there needed correction. He helped type when I needed some extra help with typing when I was tired. He was extremely supportive, and I love that about him, you know.
You forget. Is it?
I'm Dr. Barry Davidson, and I'm a family psychologist and the CEO for Family Life Ministries. says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24 to 25, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother." This suggests severance. It suggests that a man, if he is going to be effective as a husband and a wife, if she's going to be effective as a wife, they need to demonstrate independence of parents. And they need to come together and to become interdependent. And then the verse, it continues to say, "and shall cleave to his wife," which suggests permanence, that marriage is a permanent relationship. It is the only relationship that we have that's permanent. Every other relationship is temporary. A parent-child relationship is temporary. You give children roots and then you give them wings. And so this is the only permanent relationship. And then it goes on to say, "and shall become one flesh," which suggests unity, which suggests that they are going to be united with each other. They're going to assist each other. They're going to help each other. They're going to complement each other. And then the verse continues and says, "and the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed," which suggests sexual intimacy. And so marriage is really about, the purpose is to help to build strong families. And strong families are built when you have a husband and wife who are united, working together, and bringing up children, because children requires both mother and father. And so the purpose of marriage is to bring about healthy families. And as we know, healthy families will bring about healthy, happy nations.
Marriage, I find, exposes you. It makes you naked. Naked not just physically, but naked spiritually, emotionally. Everything good and bad inside of you comes out in marriage. You can't hide in marriage. It really exposes who you are.
A husband and a wife are intimate. They share they're intimate from the soul before they're intimate from the body. They expose the soul before they expose the body. You know, they're willing to talk about things that hurt them, things that concern them, and be deep. And that's why it's a relationship. That's exactly what God wants. Be deep, talk about things genuinely and truthfully that hurt you. God, this is too painful, Father. You know, I can't go through this. Lord, just like Jesus said, take this cup away from me. That was an intimate moment when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane. You know, Father, take this cup away from me. He's revealing his soul, his heart. It's the same thing when a wife comes and says, "Sweetheart, this thing is too tough for me. Can we change what we're doing?" So I think God designs marriages for us to understand intimacy and love from another perspective, where someone is giving their all and exposing themselves so much because they trust your heart and they trust you.
And your relationship with God has to be open, because in order for God to heal you and restore you, you need to be open before Him. You know, so it's the same reflection with marriage, a man and wife, and also with God and yourself, that you have to be open before Him so that He can come in and heal and touch and help you to become the better person that He has ordained for you to be. So it's a lot of exposure, which I find is very similar.
Another dynamic of it is longevity. So it's not just intimacy, but the concept of longevity in the relationship. There is a psychological benefit to knowing that somebody is in your corner for the long haul. That when I get beaten up by the world, you know, when I get chewed up and spat out by somebody in my office, I know that if it happens next week, I'll still have this person in my corner to rub my head, to tell me it's okay, I'm here, I'm going through with you. So psychologically, knowing I have someone in my corner for the long haul, it does a world of good. And so that's designed into marriage, that through thick and thin we're going to go through. But it's also the benefit from our walk with God, knowing that, as He says, "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world." psychologically, that helps us if we believe it. You know, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Gives you that sense that whatever I go through, hell and powder house, whatever I go through, he will be there with me. And in marriage, our vows, whatever I go through, she will be there to go through it with me. And I think that's designed into marriage. Now we know we have marriages that feel where somebody heads for the hills, you know, but that's not what the design is. That's why we understand that the Lord says, I hate divorce. Because his idea is that they're in it for the long haul.
And a lot of times the enemy makes you feel that your marriage is the only marriage that goes through the valley experiences. And I have known couples that have been married 50 years and more. And if you hear their stories, they also had the ups and the downs, the times they didn't feel the love. So it's a journey. And communication, I think, is the key. You have to talk it out. Whatever is causing the dryness, whether it's you're busy at work so you don't have time to talk, or you're not feeling it because of something that has happened, you have to communicate. And then you have to go back to what really attracted you to the person in the first place. What is it about my spouse that I really liked at the beginning? And try and rekindle that. But it's a journey. It's a journey, and I find we forget that. We see the happy couples, and sometimes the happy couples don't talk about their journey. So when you're going through your wilderness, you think, oh, poor us. But every couple has to go through it, and it's just to go through it and to get out of it, and what to do in order to get out of it. But it's communication. Try and get back to the date nights. Try and have fun, laugh. I am the clown in my family. I love to laugh and take things light and just make things fun. Don't get so caught up with being so serious. Be crazy and keep the laughter in the home. I think that is also very important.
In the book of Job, we often see Job alone. We don't see Mrs. Job. And for when we do see her, oftentimes we are inclined to condemn her because she says, curse God and die. But she was subject to the attack of Satan just as Job was. And what we realize is that God does not give Job a new wife, even in the midst of it. It's the same woman. It's quite apparent that it's the same Mrs. Job that he has the other set of children with. Yes, we don't see that. And Job remarried and, found Leah, of Arabeth. No, we see the same woman who says, curse God and die. And so it seems that there is a redemption. Not only that God forgives her that she voiced Satan's desire to Job, but Job also forgives her. And he forgives her so much so that they're intimate again, and that he has now these beautiful children all over again with her. And that is just unusual, that somebody who has sided with the enemy, who has voiced the words of, which happens in marriage. But you see the blessed relationship at the end. And that's sometimes a story that we don't want to hear, and we don't want to see ourselves as having to go through the pains to enjoy a deeper passion and pleasure. But the truth is, if you want good, your nose really have to run, even for marriage and romance.
You forget. Is it?
I don't
One of the things that we need to recognize and realize about Christmas is that Christmas is a time of giving. It's a gift that God has given to the world when He gave Jesus Christ and Jesus came into the world. And so at Christmas time, many people are constantly giving gifts to one another. It's a time of gift giving, and the greatest gift that was given is Christ, God's gift to the world by giving Jesus Christ. I think when we think of marriage, we need to realize that marriage is about giving far more than it's about getting. And so if a husband is giving to his wife and a wife is giving to her husband, they will both end up getting. And so we need to help people to see marriage as marriage is about giving. Just like how God gave to the world His Son, Jesus Christ, a husband must be giving to his wife and a wife must be giving to her husband. And when children are raised in a home where they observe their parents giving to each other, then that is the greatest preparation for them for the future to be great marital partners.
Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and it's all about family. And apart from us doing anything together, it's really the entire family with grandma, grandpa, uncle, dads. But I like going out for dinner. I like going out to the movies. I like going out dancing. So we try. I mean, our lives are extremely busy, but we try our best to do something during the Christmas season, either going to a play or to movies or, get out of the house is something that we try and do. So that's what I look forward to.
My favorite thing to do, just a date, any date, to get out of the house sometimes. I mean, I like turning on the lights, as I said. I like the candle-lit moments and dinners. I like the romantic music playing in the house, filling the house. But to get out and go on an adventure, I think to do something new or go to some place new, that would be it, Yeah, I'm all for the moonlit beach walks. And we've done things like that. We've walked hand in hand on the streets in Barbados. Simple things like that, just doing it together.
And that's our show. On behalf of all of us here at Family and Faith Magazine, do have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year filled with peace, hope, and love.